What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. I just want to have a conversation about Corey Holcomb really putting the stings to Shirley Strawberry. Okay, now this woman is Steve Harvey's co-host, and we all know that Corey Holcomb does not really care about Steve Harvey that much. Listen, we all know that, okay? But the reality is that this woman was dealing with a man that really don't want her ass. Then she had the unmitigated gall to be taken up for the guy. This guy, Ernesto Williams, not only was he cheating on her while he was locked up, she was paying for the lawyer fees. I mean, just doing everything, just like, she was out there simping, right? But then she had the nerve to be talking about Steve Harvey, and there's been more conversations coming out behind his back, pretty much, okay? And talking about the wife. Now, I want to play this particular clip from the 5150 show. Shout out to brother Corey Holcomb, and then we're going to come back. Weren't
we just speaking about poor Steve Harvey? Oh.
What happened now?
Like last week, we were already speaking about the possible news about he and his wife, Marjorie, possibly.
What's the news?
Possibly having some kind of, bad information on their marriage, because apparently let him tell it that they're not. So now here we go. Now he's in the news with that. But then here goes something else. And this is just, wow, this is so trippy. Okay, so you know who Shirley Strawberry is, right? The woman who's been on his show for a long time.
He did her bad, boy.
Well, anyway, she's still on his show, but I don't know if you've heard of this story, but somebody released...
Rasheed Wallace.
What happened?
No, go ahead, my bad.
Anyway, somebody released recordings of her speaking to her husband, because they're not divorced yet, and who's been in jail, right? So her husband has been arrested and has been in jail since July 2022. So somebody now has leaked those messages, and in the message, it's literally conversations between the two, he and her, and she brings up Steve Harvey and his wife. So she talks about them, and says that I guess the guy asked her something about how was she, Marjorie, whatever. And she said, she treated us like we're the help. And then she said that Steve Harvey, something to the degree of that Steve Harvey is afraid of her, his wife.
But you know what, D, she spoke some real shit.
I was just going to say, now, hold on, I'm not done yet. Now, I'm not even hating on that. I mean, again, these were conversations between two people that were supposed to have been, private. Right. So a lot of times people just have conversation. If it wasn't done in super malice, whatever, they're just having an exchange. Right. It was exposed to the public, so they put her on blast. So she gave a public apology to Steve on their show. And then Steve also kind of gave his own little take on everything, and that's kind of long and drawn out. But the bigger scandal to me is this guy. And her.
You have to make the point. What happened?
I just said it, that she was caught, that they exposed the conversations between her and her husband. And they
about what?
About her talking about Steve Harvey and his wife. Now, that's his coworker. That's like if somebody had...
Everybody talk about everybody that's around them.
Right, but they don't know what they're saying. I just said that she said Steve's afraid of her. Of Marjorie, his wife, that she runs things, and that she basically, they don't see him as often, go over their house to visit, probably because of her, and that she treats them like they were the help. In other words,
basically said Steve was simping, was scared
basically
of his wife,
right?
And that his wife got a bad attitude. She treats them like the help.
Like the help.
That's what he said.
Well, if somebody works for you, and you don't treat them like the help, they act like they're ahead of you. So what's new?
But here's the bigger thing about this whole entire thing. What I found out is that, wait a second, I was like, wow.
We don't even know who is who. That's Steve Harvey, that's his wife. Who is the lady right there?
That's Shirley Strawberry.
Shirley Strawberry.
Now,
her husband in jail for what?
Animals and
all kinds of shit. Some alleged things with children where he can't be around children and blah, blah, blah. But this particular...
And this had a problem with somebody treating them like they the help.
Well,
who would have things.
And it's
This.
wait, and it's getting even worse because more messages were revealed, and she actually had some problems between her and her family when she was dealing with this guy, that her and her daughter fell out. Well, now it's going to get even worse because in one of the messages, she's actually talking about her daughter to him, and it's bad. Like, I'm like, God. Anyway, it's just very messy.
D is basically saying this Shirley Strawberry is a messy who married a
And
all this. What else you got, D?
in the same story, they've released more conversations of his with his mistress. So now she was already putting up for him, like telling everybody, oh, he's not as bad as it's not. He might be arrested, but he's not guilty.
Can we get a picture of her husband?
Not being proven guilty and all that. So in other words, she was standing up for the guy.
Everything.
She was standing up for the guy, and everybody else apparently in her family had already did not care for the guy. And he was already known since the 80s, allegedly,
That's her husband.
doing a lot of scam stuff.
But
That's a backdooria nigga.
Wait,
yeah.
He ain't even got talking, I can tell you.
And
man.
now-
wait, they even released the messages. Have you heard those?
Yeah,
The
I
ones
heard that
between
shit.
his mistress. So he and his mistress. And let me tell you what's interesting is, at my point again, guys, when they are talking to different people, their voices change. Like his whole demeanor, but again, he's playing her for sure. His whole demeanor is totally different with the so-called side girl.
But Corey,
He's talking like a whole different dude, like a street dude, whatever. But with Shirley, he's putting on this whole. It's so
but let
embarrassing.
me tell you, that talking so ignorant.
It's so crazy.
Something got to be wrong with Shirley to even.
That's
like
what I'm
that.
saying. The bigger picture
Well,
is
you
so
can look at her
sad
lack
that
of
she's.
confidence. They mismatch.
I was just gonna say,
Going to the Beyonce
So
concert with
sad.
tickets he bought.
it's so
one of
sad. They
them type
confiscated her car. They've taken. Oh, they've done all kind of stuff. All because allegedly
He
his
put
case.
all the scam shit in this.
In-
Look
her
like a
name.
fruit booty Marvin Sapp.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. So it's just
Said
getting
fruit booty Marvin.
it's just getting worse for them. So my Lord, I can't.
Look at her. Look at her.
I know. Well, I mean, I don't know about, like I said, look, but just
You
say
can see the lack of confidence in
if
her.
you hear those
But the bitch 70
conversations,
though.
it is.
You know,
Is
she's-
she
what?
really?
She's about 70.
I
She's
get it.
68 to 70. And he's,
Yeah, but you can't be
he's
that
11
insecure.
years younger than her, too. So
And it don't matter. He done took it raw backside of the game.
So sad that she's
he's a
just,
backdoorian for sure. though.
Right.
I mean, I
And
hope to
she
goodness she's not
elderly.
accepting it now.
She wants somebody to show off at the barbecue and family events.
I
That's
hope,
what she wants.
I hope she's
I don't
dropped
feel
that one
sympathy
already.
for her.
I
what?
have some.
I don't feel
I have
sympathy
some
for her.
compassion as
Oh,
a
you say you
human
don't
being.
feel sympathy.
Yeah, I don't
I
feel
thought
no
you said you
sympathy.
don't feel 70. I'm like, you
Oh,
ain't 70.
what? Shut up. No, I'm just saying I
don't
do
feel
have.
sympathy for her because I know the company she keep.
Oh
Him
well.
Yeah. But I'm-
and look at the other people she be around. These people are nothing but drama drawers.
And let me tell you what else. And then Steve Harvey humiliated her on the show, making her apology. Did you hear her apology, D?
I didn't hear it all the way through. I
That
just
shit
heard
is
her.
fuck.
said it.
Even-
What did she say?
Well, she said she was sorry for talking about Marjorie. She was sorry for saying she said Steve Harvey was walking up his stairs and the could barely breathe walking up the stairs.
Oh my
She was
God.
saying all kind of shit, but not really in a. It was a personal conversation between her and her husband.
Right, they
And some
gossip.
a person released it, which they shouldn't even have released the jail. It was a jail conversation.
But
to
you
a
know, there's a
recording.
whole website where where you can
That's
listen to all the.
crazy.
You know that.
And she said Margie, and then she was kind of hating on her a little bit. She said when she got, they bought Tyler Perry house. She said Steve got her set up where she get massages and she had people come in and out of the house and do everything for her. And she said we wouldn't even be able to be in the house looking around if she
was
had been there.
Oh, that I caught. Yeah, that is just.
She said, Steve's scared of the That's what she said, and she told
Oh,
her husband,
yep, it's
he's
just-
scared of her.
I'm not taking up for Steve Harvey or nothing, but I am telling you, if you got a like that at your house, keep the living room on the couch. Because everything else she sees, she gonna talk about. Really, why the now? Look, if the work for you and she at your house, she ain't gonna do nothing but rummage through shit so she can tell the streets.
And that's what she did, basically.
Why do you think anything different? I brought a my house who used to be on the show sites. That said I'm a bum. I was laughing.
So let me just say this. Steve Harvey And although what she was saying was not necessarily so bad, it was a private conversation. The thing that gets me is that she fell out with her own daughter over this man. Not only did she fall out with her own daughter over the man, listen to this. It gets more interesting. She fell out with her daughter over the man. She also was evicted 7 different times or whatever, lost her car, everything. Then you're over there talking about somebody like you ain't got no goddamn sense. That's what I'm dealing with. Like you ain't got no sense. Who are you talking about when you are with a criminal? Do you know what charges he's been under? Do you know what he's out there being accused of doing? And you're 70 and you're going through this? How silly can you actually be? And you're talking about Steve Harvey to this guy who don't give a damn about you. At least we can say that with Steve. Okay, at least Steve pretends to like you a little bit. But this guy don't like your ass at all. 0, nothing, everything. That's the reality of it. And then you got some sort of, I don't know, what would you call it, nerve? Then you got to come out and apologize and all that stuff. You're with the guy. Like if you were not with that guy, it wouldn't be no problem. So you end up getting cooked. Now you're begging for your job. At first I'm like, it's not so bad. Then I really start listening to the more calls. It's bad, family. Like the man don't even, I told y'all already, when he talks to her in a different way. When he talks to the other young woman, because he's like 59, she's 70. And, as Corey Holcomb says, he believes the guy is, the other side, okay? Plays for the other team, right? The guy doesn't even want you. All of that stuff you've done for this dude, he don't even respect you at all. You've been through all this stuff just to have a man. A man who you would think, knowing Steve Harvey, you would at least be able to get a simp like him. Nope. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson. Back at it again. Another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all you subscribe to the bell. We're out.